just gonna go ahead and say it. Getting rich is simple. Simple, but not easy. You probably already know the top secret way to achieve it as well. You just don't want to do it. Let me explain. I'm going to guess that because you're watching this video, you're probably in a similar boat to me. So let's do a quick exercise together. Pause the video, grab a pen and paper, and set a timer for 2 minutes. In these 2 minutes, write down as many different methods of making money as you can think of. Okay, good. Now, if someone held a gun to your head and said you have to start one of these tomorrow, how many feasible options do you have? Take a minute to score out the ones that you genuinely could not do. This might be due to limitations of capital, or maybe something requires a skill set that would take many years to acquire. So if you've written down underwater welder, then maybe score that one out. For my list, that's probably only real estate investing. The rest I could probably figure out how to do with a little bit of research. Take a look at the list you have left. If you have more than 3 left, then you have at least one way that you could probably start to make some quite decent money. Now, I know in reality you don't actually have a gun to your head, so the motivation is a little bit different. But think about it, you already know quite a lot of methods, and with a little bit of research in each, you could probably pick one out and start tomorrow if you had to. So do just that. Pick one, do some research, and start tomorrow. I think perhaps the issue with a lot of us, me included, is not a lack of knowledge, but a lack of action. Also, taking action will consequentially allow you to gain more knowledge by doing more things and having more experiences. So that top secret hack to getting rich we were talking about, it's taking action. Let me give you an example that shows this quite clearly, and it's not actually related to money or business. I quite like learning languages. Well, the idea of it anyway. I have yet to successfully learn a language. But for just under a year, I have been trying to learn Spanish. Now, for the first many months, I spent a ridiculous amount of time watching videos about how to learn languages. I watched videos about the best methods to learn languages, the best resources, the best environments to learn languages in, and it went on and on and on. Now, what was the result of all this? Well, a couple of months in, if you asked me how to learn a language, I'm an expert. Could have told you about 53 different ways that you could start learning a language. Spanish, on the other hand? Well, I still knew very, very little Spanish. Why was that? Well, because I was spending all my time watching videos and researching ways to learn a language other than actually learning a language. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of research in an area like this. But if you're anything like me, this can very quickly turn into pure procrastination. Since then, I can't remember the last video I watched about how to learn a language, because I've been spending that time actually learning Spanish. I've started taking some Spanish lessons and actually taking action. And what do you know? My Spanish is actually improving. Wild! At this point you might be thinking, what is this loser talking about? Getting rich is simple. He's not even rich. He's probably just an unemployed graduate with a useless degree. And if you're thinking that, then put your crystal ball away and let me be. But yes, you have a good point. As I said, simple, not easy, otherwise we'd all be rich. However, the reason I'm not rich is, well, because of me. It's my responsibility. I think there's some kind of power in taking ownership and saying, you know what, it is my fault I'm not where I want to be. But it is also within my capability to take myself to where I want to be. I'm sure Mr. 4am himself would agree with this message, given his book is called Extreme Ownership. But I definitely subscribe to that way of thinking. If I had consistently made 1 or 2 videos a week on YouTube for the past year and a half, I am confident that I would be making 20 to 50 times as much money as I currently am. So now you see, the idea? It's simple. Upload a YouTube video or 2 every week. It's not a super complicated process. Just about anybody can wrap their head around it. Is it easy? Definitely not. Trying to dedicate 10 plus hours to make a quality YouTube video every week when you're either working full-time, studying, or have other commitments, it's really tough. But you know what else is simple? Leaving a like on this video. If you're thinking, well, good for you, but I've never made a YouTube channel and I have no plans to, then don't think you're off the hook. If you watch these type of YouTube videos, then I'm 95% certain that at some point you will have tried something and given up quite quickly. Maybe you started an Instagram theme page, or your own business, or maybe you started doing a marketing course and gave up halfway through because it wasn't easy. It's the same idea. You knew what you had to do, it just wasn't easy, so you didn't do it. Take a look at that list you made earlier. I guarantee you that for each method you've written down, somebody will have become very successful using just that method. And who knows, the next person to do it could be you. Hopefully this is making you think, and perhaps reframe your perspective. Instead of thinking, I don't know how to make any money, you can start to think, well, I do know how to make money. I just need to remove barriers to make it easier for me to actually take action and start one of these methods. A bonus tip for you. Something else you need to stop doing is spending all your time watching YouTube videos about how to make money. I'm probably the most guilty of this and also the most hypocritical given I make these same videos. But if you're serious about this, it needs to be done. So click off the videos and start actually putting into practice what the videos are talking about.